I'm a freaky, freaky bitch.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Freaky, and today I'm going to talk about ear stretching and how it affected my life. And this is kind of a crazy story too. So this is coming out of nowhere. I know you guys probably don't really know me that well, but I did make videos last year for like a whole year, and they're all sketches or skits or whatever the hell you guys want to call them. And I had my ear stretched, and I'm pretty sure in all of the videos. So yeah, what actually happened is I talk about this in my ex-girlfriend thing. She started me off with that. And if you don't know what ear stretching is, or stretching your lobes, pretty much is you pierce your ear with like a 14 or anything smaller, and the sizes get bigger by twos. So it'd be like 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, and then double 0, and then so on. And then you get to the size you want to stop at, and you're there. Alright, so I'm going to kind of say how this is kind of a drug in a way, because it does get somewhat addicting. So let's start off the story. So, with the girlfriend, this is that ex-girlfriend, crazy ex-girlfriend, she lent me some ears, or some stud diamond things, whatever the hell those are called. I pierced my ears. Then I was so excited because she said I was going to stretch my ears, or start stretching my ears, and I was like, oh damn, that sounds actually pretty cool, and I wanted to do it right off the bat. So pretty much, what was it? I think it was a week after, or 2 weeks after, I stretched my ears to a bigger one, and I think it was a size 10, which is actually 4 times bigger than the other one. And yeah, it went to a size 10, and that didn't really hurt that much. It didn't hurt that much. It was like a little prick, and then it kind of went away. It made my ears a little sore, but not as much as it did when I first pierced my ears. So what I did from then, I just kept stretching bigger and bigger, and I kept asking her for sizes. And by the time I ended up like being done with that relationship, I'm pretty sure I was a size 3/4. I was at 3/4, and if you don't know what that means, it's 3/4 of an inch, and that's the whole size. So if you take a ruler and measure out 3/4 of an inch, that's the size that was in my earlobe. That's the size of the hole. And if you don't know what tunnels are, I had those, and I was wearing those, so you could actually see the hole in general, not just it was like a big chunk of jewelry in your ear. And I thought that was cool. I was like, yeah, I'm getting big now. Everyone's gonna think I'm like badass and hardcore and shit. But no, like that, I don't know. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and I got myself around people like that, and it just became bad. So when the addicting part came in, once you hit, I'd say, your first goal, it starts to get more and more addicting. It doesn't just sit and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep it at this size because I wanted this big the whole time. You don't want to get any bigger. No, I wanted that at 5/8 actually, so that's a one size below 3/4, and I was like, let's get to 3/4, then I'll stop then. So I was like, I stayed there for like a month, and that was fine. I was good, everything was fine. Then I was like, oh, okay, this is a good size, let's stay at that. And then I was like, why not go to an inch? I mean, what can it hurt? And oh, and the money that she owed me, that 20 bucks, I actually bought her a set of inch plugs. So she was bigger than me because she started stretching her ears before, and I forgot to tell you guys that, but that's why she got me into it, because she thought it was sexy, quote unquote sexy. And so yeah, that's 20 bucks, and I had to buy a pregnancy test it with, and yeah. So back on subject. I got to an inch, and I was like, alright, this is a cool size. But when you're at a size, let me tell you, it seems like it gets smaller and smaller by every day. You don't just sit there and be like, damn, this is pretty big, I think I'm going to stay at this size. It literally, like in your mind, you can sense it. It looks like it's smaller every day. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Your eyes play tricks with you or something, and it's just like, oh, this is too small, I need to get bigger again. And what happened is, the next year after I was done with her at school, it was senior year, I got to an inch and, what was it? Inch and a fourth, or no, inch and a fourth, yeah, inch and an eighth, and then inch and a fourth. So I got to an inch and an eighth, and then stretched to an inch and a fourth, and yeah, that was the size of my earlobes, and I had wooden ones. So the wooden ones are pretty cool looking. They were a solid chunk of wood. It was like a doorknob almost in your earlobe. It was pretty cool, but the only bad thing about them, when you took them out, your earlobes would like stick to the wooden plug, as you would say. And I don't know why that was. I don't know if there was a problem with that or something, like the sweat on your earlobes like dried around it or something, but my earlobes would look really fucking weird afterwards, and I'd have to like lotion them up and shit. And if you know about stretching your ears, you have to lotion those shit up. And also, if you want to make them bigger, like thicker, your earlobes, if they start getting thinner, I know I probably shouldn't be saying this because I don't really promote them anymore, but massage them every day with lotion, and they will create more blood flow, I'd say, and maybe downsize too. And downsizing means just go to the smaller size, because you either stretch too fast or whatnot. And also, this brings me on the factor of blowouts, and yeah, this is about the bad part of ear stretching. A blowout occurs when you stretch way too fast or put a big size in that's too big for your earlobe to take. And what actually happens is the skin that's in the middle of your earlobe actually gets pushed out and creates somewhat of a cat butt like thing. So it looks like you have a vagina ear pretty much. And it's pretty gross. You can get rid of it by massaging it every day or downsizing, like I said before. It's kind of like your ear just thins out, but gets fucked up at the same time, and it really hurts when that happens. You can stretch them and they'll bleed or rip the interior, and I'm getting to that in my story. So yeah, so I get to an inch and a fourth. I'm like, damn, this is pretty big. I like it. It's a good size for me. And I was like, damn, everyone else is saying, you gotta go bigger, Tom. That ain't big enough. And the thing is, there is my friend at school. He's had his ear stretched for 4 years now, since freshman year. And I started stretching my ears junior year. So it only took me like 9 months to get to an inch and a fourth. And if you know about ear stretching, that's not too bad, but pretty bad at the same time, because that's pretty fast. And when I got to an inch and a fourth, I was like competing with the other dude that was my friend. And I was like, oh damn, I need to get bigger than him. And I'm pretty sure he downsized, so I was already bigger than him, but I wanted to get bigger. I want to get the biggest in the school, the biggest anyone's seen at that school, because then everyone's looking at you and you feel like a badass. I don't know. It's just something that, God, it just kept you aware, I guess. I don't know how to say it. It's just weird feeling type of thing that you get in your head, and you're like, oh, everyone's looking at me. I must look sexy or some shit, or I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so when I got that feeling in my head, I was like, damn, I really need to get to an inch and a half. And I was at an inch and a fourth, so that's a whole 4-step difference. And what I did to get to an inch and a half is pretty bad. I used Scotch tape, taped it around it, I kept stretching it up layer after layer. I think it was 2 layers every night, so it wasn't that bad, but it irritated my ears. It would like rub on them and give them like rashes and stuff. But I did that, and I tried putting the inch and a half in, and that was a whole tunnel, and it fitted one of my ears, but the other one it wouldn't fit. And it literally made my ears look like I didn't have any meat around them. So I was like, fuck, damn, this is gonna look really bad or really badass. And when I did that, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep putting tape around the other one, because I need to stretch that one out a little more, because it was too small. And I was like, fuck. And then when I was doing that in the process, I don't know. I think this is a good reason that this happened, but I was late because my dad was picking me up from school, and I actually went out to the bus, and he was picking me up in the front, and I had to walk all the way back and then get in his car. So after that, I don't know if this is something that had to happen in my life or something, but it kind of made me feel better about myself. So we were driving in the car, we go up a hill, the bus stops, and we're on a hill going down, I think. Nah, maybe we're going up, I don't know. But when we stopped, everyone stopped. There's 2 cars in front of me, and my dad was driving, and we stopped. Everyone stopped, like I said, and some car behind us, my dad looked in the mirror, and he saw that a chick was still going, and she actually rammed into us, causing my plug to actually rip out of my right ear, the one that was already stretched out to an inch and a half, because the tape on it ripped the inside of it. And yeah, that caused that whole rippage on my ear and everything. So what actually happened then, I had to be a dumbass, pretty much, and was like, alright, now I can stretch this up. No problem, no problem. I got him to 1.5 inches, everything was cool, but my ear hurt like fuck. And the rest of the 2 weeks, I had my ears stretched out to that. I thought they'd be healing, but they're still oozing and pussing and bleeding. And I tried putting like peroxide and all that good shit on it, but it didn't help it. And when I took it out, I had to go through 4 months of school walking around with a dangly ear that looked like a dried up worm. And if you don't know what a dried up worm looks like, picture that as a droopy earlobe. Yeah, I had to go through that for 4 months. So that's like half the school year. Imagine doing that and having everyone disgusted at you. Yeah, that sucked dick. So, after the 4 months, we finally got an ear surgeon to repair my ears. And that was cool because it was all good and I was happy about that. I could finally have my ears back to normal. So when we went in, I was freaking scared because I've never had surgery ever, and that's not even that like surgery because I was still awake. And the bad thing is I could hear them crunching away at my ear when they're cutting it and re-sewing it back together. But the only thing that hurt about that whole surgery was the needle and whatever they injected in it. It was like bees and stinging and fire ants going around my ear, but I couldn't feel anything. If you wanted to go on a, I don't know, jump off a building or some shit, you would not feel anything if you inject your whole body with that. That's how bad it was. And yeah, that's pretty much my whole ear repair surgery, and now they look fine, they look normal and healthy, and I don't have to walk around like an idiot anymore. So I hope you guys like this commentary. I know it ran a little bit longer than I expected. But yeah, I guess that's just happens when you tell a long ass story. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys learned something. Don't stretch your ears unless you really want to, because it's not worth it. I had to pay $800 for a surgery just to get them repaired, and unless you want to have cat butt pussies for your earlobes for the rest of your life. Hey, whatever. I don't care. That's your life. Alright? So if you guys like this video, like it and subscribe if you guys haven't already, and comment below on what you guys want to see next. Or your stretching ear surgery type thing, or whatever. If you guys have done that before, I just suggest not to. So I'll talk to you guys later. This has been Freaky, and I'm out, guys. Peace. Damn titties. I know you guys want confetti. Yeah, confetti. Yeah, let's have more confetti. Woo, confetti. All right.